Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Wednesday, April 21st, 2021. How are you guys doing today? I've got my afternoon coffee for today. Just brewed a fresh cup for the hour. And I've also got today what may or may not be poop bags. And for reference, I have actual poop bags and the way that they kind of like come. And then I have this thing that I got from the Eugene Marathon, which I'm starting to think is not poop bags, but looks a lot like poop bags, like stuff that you use for when you're picking up after the dog. Before we get to any of that, though, let's say hi to everyone that's listening in on the podcast, on the audio-only version of the live stream. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. You know, I wish there's got to be a way I could do like an audio live thing, right? I was just thinking about that because sometimes I listen to like the news live, like when I'm out walking the dog. I wonder if there's a way to do this live. But anyway, it's not. So it's pre-recorded for people that are just listening only. Hopefully you guys are having a good run or getting some work done today. And for everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, hopefully you guys are doing well and enjoying wherever part of your day that you're at. Let's see who's here for today. We got Philip Bourne coming in saying after work, he did a 20-minute, 11-second 5K at LTHR. 184 beats per minute. That's a lot. He says the poop bags are for cases where there's no cornfields around. Yeah. You know, today I had kind of my last workout before the Eugene Marathon or the half marathon I'll be running this weekend. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure what's going on, but I kind of need a bathroom. I ended up being fine. But there was a couple of moments where I was like, I might have to cut this workout short. And in like related news, Navy Pier is opening back up soon, or like they're starting to their plan on reopening. And I mean, Navy Pier is like a big tourist attraction here in Chicago. And the main thing that's notable for me, the way it's pertinent for me, is that there are very nice bathrooms inside Navy Pier that you can go to. And they're usually open, you know, even relatively early. There's a children's museum right on Navy Pier as well. And there's a lot of people that kind of work there. And so like, it's been closed for pandemic reasons for a long time, but their reopening plan is starting. And that's going to be very useful because that's at a very useful spot. It's about about 4 miles exactly from here. And so like, that's a pretty good stopping point. That's a good stopping point. So I look forward to that area opening up again. Running on Empty says, hi, I'm just watching the video. Someone said it's actually finishing line tape in the comments. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I was looking at the Eugene Marathon website to make sure that I had all weekend and didn't have to do it like a specific day. Like, you know, Boston Marathon, like you had to do it within like a 24-hour period. I thought I saw for the Eugene Marathon that you had like a 2-day kind of like window. And I just want to make sure, because I'd rather run on Sunday here with the weather. I think it's going to like rain, maybe sleet or something like that Saturday here. So I'm going to try and run on Sunday. But yeah, I think that's what it is. But we'll open it up. We'll see what it looks like. Casey A says, hey, everyone, hitting the weights and stretching. We'll be tuned in for the live stream. Nice. And Brett Reed says, most of my casual shoes are just old running shoes. Think there's any harm in wearing Endorphin Speed since they have a plate? I don't think so. I think you're going to be absolutely fine.
I'm going to go get a snack.
Okay. She's getting a snack, everybody, just in case you want to know. All right. Chris S says, I stopped using the music function on my 245 long ago because every update would erase my playlist. Now Garmin Express will not recognize my watch on my iMac. Charges fine through the same connection. What? That's weird. Sorry to hear about that, Chris. Strange. Anyone else having that problem with their Garmin? I was just looking at Garmin's today. I don't know if I don't know how the YouTube algorithm does it, but it's been giving me all of like just Matt Legrand and Chase the Summit videos about Garmin 745 and Garmin 945. So I've just been watching tons of videos about that. I'm thinking about probably picking one up soon. Yeah, probably one of those. I'm not sure which one I'll get. Still, I've watched like, you know, at this point, close to hours worth of content on which one to get. I guess I haven't been really focusing with a mind towards a decision, but I got to get one of those pretty soon, I think. Kerry Smith says, yo, what's going on, Kofuzians? And it says, hey, Kofuzian, everyone, a zone 2 run with Pip tonight to take it easy after Monday's 5K and Tabata and last night's cycle. You've been getting after it, Ennis. So a zone 2 run, I think, is a great idea. Good job. Scott says Wednesday means rest day. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been doing it lately where I like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. That's like kind of my favorite. I know three quality sessions is a lot. I don't do that for most of the year, but what are you doing? Good. Don't stand on the couch. The kids are climbing on everything. I like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday normally, but this week I'm going Wednesday and then Sunday will be like my 2 like workout days this week. But yeah, so Wednesday normally is an easier day for me, but not today. Corey Allen says, hey, my dog Bonzo poops in the same place on our run every single time. I even let him out 20 minutes in advance. The poop bags come in handy. Nice. Do you think there's something about that spot? I mean, do you think he's marking it? I bet you he's marking it. Frank says, basically all of YouTube is racing this week. Yeah, well, I mean, that is it that Wrexham? How do I say that one? That one in England that a lot of people are, that is like an elite marathon. Yeah, a couple of people running that one. I think, weather's getting warmer. A lot of stuff. I think normally a lot of stuff kind of like plans for after Boston, doesn't it? So I think, people are getting ready. Don't jump on the couch, please. She is pushing buttons today. Dennis Chick says, hey, Kofuzi, ¿cómo estás? And hi, everyone. I'm doing well. Thanks, Dennis. Hopefully you're doing well out there, too. Sarah says, hi, I enjoyed the Eugene video today. I would do the half also, if not for injury. Hope the 1 bar is tried on Monday. Never had one. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've had 1 bars before. I don't think so. But that one looks tasty. It's got like a picture of a donut on it, I think. So I think it's supposed to taste like a donut. I could go for a donut. You know what I haven't had? There's a really good donut. It's not they've got a couple of locations in the neighborhood. Stan's Donuts in the area. Oh, I haven't been there in forever. Soon. I'm going to go on like a neighborhood tour for all the places that like I haven't been like wanting to go inside. So that's going to be, I look forward to that. I'll bring you guys along with me. So we'll do like a neighborhood tour. I think that'll be fun. Louis says, yo, what's going on? Ozef Van Backshow says, hey, yo. Brian Paulus says, yo, what's going on? What's going on, Brian? How are you guys? If anyone's new here today, welcome to you guys. We're all just hanging out. There's no structure for today's video for the live stream. There very rarely is. It's just a bunch of runners talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. So if you guys have any running specific questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments or in the chat. If you've already put it in the chat, I probably missed it. Usually the stuff that happens like in the beginning with the timing, I miss it. I'll eventually kind of get caught up to the pace of everybody by like, a couple minutes in. So feel free to like repeat it if I haven't answered it right away. And if you want, and you're new, let me know that it's your first time here, or if you're new here, relatively new here, and let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're comfortable sharing that, I'd love to say hi to you guys. Monica and Hunu TV says, hey, Mike and everyone, from Jay in Los Angeles. What's going on, Jay? All right. Scott says, if I take 2 weeks off from running, how might that affect a half marathon distance in 3 weeks from now? I mean, I think the timing, Scott, I think in the question I'm a little bit confused on. So if it's like 5 weeks out, you take week 5, week 4, and then you have 3 weeks of work left. If that's the case, I mean, it depends on like what your level of fitness is going in and what your expectations are for the race. I mean, I think that whether you're talking about 5 weeks out or 3 weeks out and taking 2 weeks off, that's a pretty critical time for, doing some kind of like finishing work, I would say. I think of it like, when they talk about like cows, you feed them mostly on corn and then you finish with grass kind of thing. I feel like that's a very weird way to think about it. But I feel like there's a lot of important work that gets done in those last couple of weeks. That's why I'm feeling like for mine was, I had like a week, an off week, 3 weeks out from my half marathon. And I just think that like, I had a decent level of fitness going in, but it was going to be a really important time to get like 3 workouts that week anyway. But like it also like coming, in the whole easing back into things, I lost maybe 4 workouts where I would have really pushed on a lot of longer threshold efforts. So, I think that's going to negatively affect it. I think that would have made it potentially something that I could have been in kind of PR range. And now I have to kind of back off by that a couple minutes. So that's kind of how I think it affects it. If you're just trying to, have a good time and enjoy the race, maybe run with a friend kind of thing, then I don't think it's really going to affect it that much. in terms of being able to finish. But if you're like looking to set a PB, you know, that could be pretty tough. You have to take a couple weeks off. John Brian Serrano says, "Hey, Co, I signed up for the Eugene Marathon too. What shoes will you wear?" I'm not sure. So I'm thinking, someone mentioned the Endorphin Pros yesterday, and I think in a comment. And it's a shoe that I've done an 8K time trial in, I think. And I've done a lot of speed work in that shoe, and I do really like it. It's one of my favorites. It was probably my favorite until the Adios Pro came out. And so lately I've done time trials in the Adios Pro, the Metaspeed Sky, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll do the Endorphin Pro. So I got them out for the workout today. And I was looking at the footage, and I feel like, that foam, I don't feel like it's getting me kind of like it's not, my feet aren't like lifting up off the ground. So when I look at it, it looks like my my trailing leg is dragging a little bit. I just feel like it's not giving me the pop that I want compared to when I run with the Adios Pro or the Metaspeed Sky. The Metaspeed Sky is just like foot like shoots back up. And I feel like that makes for a very efficient and powerful stride. So I'm not sure. It's probably going to be the Adios Pro. I might, just for the sake of mixing it up, go with the Endorphin Pro. I kind of want to run into the Metaspeed Sky. But, I was just talking about it yesterday. I got a lot of races that I'm thinking about. I haven't booked anything yet, but there's a lot of things that I'm looking at. And, so there'll be lots of other opportunities to get some miles in on those other shoes too. All right. Corey Allen says, "Hey, Co, do you ride the carousel on Navy Pier?" Always wanted to. I've never rode the carousel. My buddy and I, we took our kids to ride in the Ferris wheel. It's expensive. It's really expensive. It's like $15 a person or something like that. It's very, very expensive. But what ended up happening is we got free tickets to ride it because we went to like Navy Pier has like a winter fest, basically like a street, like a carnival inside in the winter. And it's super fun. And there's like a skating rink, and there's all sorts of rides and games and just, everything that you would find like at a carnival, but just indoors in the winter. And if you bought tickets to that, you got like a free ticket to ride on the Ferris wheel on any other given day. And we did it. And it was the only time, like, he had never taken his kids. He had never been in it. I'd never taken my kids, and I'd never been in it. And we went, and it was good for the kids. The kids really enjoyed it. It's like climate controlled, so you can go in the winter, you can go in the summer. And it's a long ride, but like if I would have had to have just dropped like $45 for me and my two kids to go on it, and he had to drop $45 or whatever, I think we would have been pretty annoyed. The carousel, I don't know. My kids aren't like big enough, I think, to ride that yet. So like, I mean, there's a thing with like the swing that you sit in and it spins you around. And I don't know if is there a regular like carousel, like you ride a pony kind of thing. I don't know. I've never spent too much time on like that part of Navy Pier. There's like two areas that I go to. One is like the Children's Museum, and then the other is there's a beer garden out there. So like those are the two places that I go. And there's like stuff in between. I'm not really sure what else the other stuff is. All right. So let's get to this thing. All right. This is the thing that came from the Eugene Marathon box. Let's see if I can focus on it. So you can see that it has a Eugene Marathon logo on there, and it's covered with a piece of tape right here, and it looks like it's like plastic on a roll. Here are the dog bags that I use to pick up the dog poop. It's plastic, and it's got a piece of tape. It's even got like a little arrow telling you which way is the top. So it looks to me like a dog poop bag. And I've had like, these are not like biodegradable, but I have like biodegradable ones before. And they're like usually like this kind of color. So let's open this up and see what happens when you actually open it up. And they're always impossible to open up properly. So I'm opening it, and there aren't any. Oh yeah, it's perforated.
There was a giant teacup ride. There was a giant teacup.
Yeah, there was a giant teacup right at the Navy Pier Winterfest. I know you rode it like 4 times in a row. So it's perforated in spots too. But that's a little bit long for like a poop bag. But you see the logo, and let's keep unfurling it. I mean, I could keep unfurling it, but it's just going to be more perforations. Let's see what happens if let's rip one of these. So I guess they were saying, like, people are saying it's like a tape that you could break. It unfolds, and it's not poop bags, guys. It's not poop bags. It's just plastic. Wait, no. It's a sleeve. It's poop bags. It's totally poop bags. So look, see? I mean, this is a little bit short for poop bag, and it's really thin for plastic. So I'm like, I feel like there's a high probability that you're actually accidentally gonna poke your finger through that and have a finger full of dog poop. But this is a poop bag. This is a poop bag that they're kind of like saying is a tape. Oh man. Awesome. Yeah, Ron Jason, mystery stop. Yes, it is supposed to be a tape that you're going to break through, but you totally can use it to pick up dog poop. It's a bag. It's a bag. See, you can use it. You can use it to pick up dog poop. Eugene Marathon dog poop. There we go. Hey. Yeah, but the sandwich bag, yeah, I suppose you could put sandwiches in it. This is something that you could use, I guess, if you were on like a farmer's market. But yeah, Brent is so excited over poop bag. Yeah. Yeah. Lewis says those are for a St. Bernard. No, not this one. This one is not. See, when I tore it off, I tore off 2. So this is the size for 1. So yeah. Andre wants to know what the dog are snacking on. You want to show people what you're eating?
I'm eating applesauce.
Yeah. It's actually pretty good.
It's really good.
JC says the poop bag should be more opaque, just saying. Yeah, I think that'll be good too. Oh yeah, and here's the cowbell. Here's the cowbell too. My daughter wanted it. You know, one year I bought a 12-pack of cowbells because we normally have like a party at our house for the marathon because it goes right by our building. And I bought like a dozen of them for everyone's kids to have, so that way as they were cheering on the runners, they can use the cowbells. And I was running, so I told my wife, like, make sure everyone's kids takes them home. And she's like, okay. I'm like, make sure everyone's kids takes them home. She's like, okay. And then after the race, my kids had a dozen cowbells of their own, and they were just ringing them all the time. So we had to get rid of those. So I don't really like having these little cowbells around. All right, that's enough. Martha says, Kofuzi, those bags are almost as multi-purpose as buffs. It can be headband, neck warmers, night wipers on the wrist, and probably more. Yeah, multi-function bags. Keel Condrick says, hey, Ko, first time live stream for me. Awesome. Welcome, Keel. Have you ever considered getting into other endurance sports, cycling, swimming, possibly doing any short tries? I mean, I hadn't before, but with everything, getting locked down and like a lot of kind of our normal exercise options getting taken away from us, I was like, I'm ready to try other things. I feel like I've, kept a very narrow focus. So I'm kind of keeping an eye out for what's going on with Lifetime does a triathlon in Chicago. I don't know what the distance is on it. But that's probably the one that I might try because it's close and I wouldn't have to worry about traveling and stuff. So I'm thinking about that. I just also I'm not a very good swimmer. So I'd have to like kind of learn to swim. I'd probably get a coach for the swimming part. So, but yeah, I'm thinking about it for sure. Tony Romelo says, I feel like you'd be good at ultimate Frisbee. I do enjoy Frisbee. I'm not really, my level of fitness is different than kind of like ultimate Frisbee fitness, but I think I could be all right. Alan Shrimpton wants to know, are the poop bags biodegradable? My kitchen bags are, but you got to change it after a week or it breaks down in the bin. They need to pour out the garbage into another bag. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to guess that these are not really biodegradable. Because it didn't say anything like that on it. I just think it's amazing that people were telling me, like in comments today in today's video, they were like, no, that's not dog bags. That's a finish line tape. And I'm like, are you sure? Very well could be finish line tape, but I think it's a dog bag. Not really Hank Aaron. It's like I think you said this the other day too. Lifetime Fitness is really fancy. I don't know if that's the same. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. Lifetime is a company that puts on races. It's not sponsored by Lifetime. Like Lifetime is the name of the production company. Maybe we're talking about the same thing. I don't know. Our Jason Dahl says that one in Chicago does super sprint, and Olympic. I don't know if super sprint. Which one's the shortest? I think I'd like the shortest one. The shortest swim, I guess. Although maybe I need a longer one to even out my inadequacies, I guess. Yeah, Scotty B says they're calling it finishing tape per the website. Yeah, I saw that too. You know why I think that's weird? That is because, like, you know, I've seen that. I think it's an interesting add-in, and I know like the race directors are trying to figure out ways to make virtual racing more interesting or palatable, you know. But it's like, you know, I understand. Like, you gave me a bib, great. You gave me like the samples of some other products, like the Noon. Sometimes you have like collagen products you can try, or like a bar. Great. All those things are like the normal stuff that I normally would experience as part of the race. But like finishing tape, I've never broken tape before. I don't need like a virtual tape breaking experience. What I would love is if they had something that I could put down on the ground and run over as a starting line. I cross starting lines all the time, or I cross finishing lines all the time. But like breaking tape, I don't know. But I guess it's like it's fun to see on social media, so I guess it's okay. Pete Johnson said, "Hey, Kofuzi, you gave me some great advice to go for the Polar Grit X. Somehow I ended up going for a Garmin Phoenix 6, so we'll see how that goes. All right. I hope you enjoy." Someone else was mentioning the Phoenix 6 earlier today because I was talking about which Garmin should I look at. You know, is the Phoenix? Oh, it's snowing. It's very sunny out and snowing right now. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I might look at the Phoenix 6 because I think it's like, well, the Phoenix 5 I know you can usually find them really cheap on Amazon these days. So I don't know. And Scott says it is Lifetime that does sponsor the tri. Okay. So maybe I have that wrong. I thought the name of the production company. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's the same company that does the Chicago Half Marathon, because I was working with them, or I was going to be working with them for last year's Chicago Half Marathon. I guess kind of like what I'm doing for the Eugene Marathon, but in an official capacity and not as like, you know, some dude unboxing stuff on the internet, where they wanted me to like help promote the race. And they were like, "Hey, by the way, if you're ever interested in triathlon, you know, we do that too." I was like, okay. So that's the race that I'll probably look. And I see them, people training for it like all summer long and like swimming along the lakefront right where I run. So I'm like, I'm like already here. I'm right here. Alan says, "Hey, Co, I'm giving plasma today for the first time. Cool. An experience on running afterwards. At least they returned my red blood cells. Seth would approve." You know, I've never done that before. I've never given plasma. So I don't have any advice. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sure someone else here has done that before. So maybe someone else can give some of their share some of their experience. Yeah, Brian Paula says, like, including the finishing tape was weird because basically all of us never see the finishing tape. Yeah, I've never seen finishing tape before. So I mean, I don't even get to see it get broken, you know, because when I'm in the race, you know, the finish happens way before I ever get there. So yeah, it's interesting. But Mark says there are cool medals to help motivate. The medals are nice. I do like the medals. I mean, I didn't do much racing in 2019, but in 2018, in 2017, I did a lot of racing, and I just wanted to collect the medals. I thought they were fun, you know. But yeah. And Mark thinks also shoe discounts could also help propel a virtual race. Yeah, I think so. But I think those are a little bit harder to kind of like secure those, right? So I'm not sure. I think that would be good. But like, you know, I think, like how would you connect? Maybe you connect like the local running store with the event to industries that are both getting hit hard by not having in-person racing. So I don't know. Martha says to use chalk and make your own finish line. It's a lot of waste of plastic if other people don't figure out their poop bags or you use them for sandwiches. Yeah. I mean, kudos for trying. But like, I'll certainly use these. That's for sure. What do you want? I don't need that. Yeah, my kids are like just bringing stuff to me to show me. I'm like, I know what these things are. They're my things. But yeah, I will be using them to pick up poop for sure. Jason Dell says, I want my first tape breaking experience to be winning the Chicago Marathon. JK, of course. Yeah. I am convinced. I don't think I'll ever, I can't envision a scenario where I'm breaking tape. But if I do, it'll most certainly be one of those situations where the runner like either bounces off the tape because they just didn't have enough energy to get through it properly, or like trips and falls. You know, that's like what I think is going to happen. Affluent Journey says, hike the Fox Canyon outside of Denver a while ago. People take the time to put dog crap in the bags and then just dump it on the trail. I don't understand that. That's weird. Is it because they don't want to put like a very biodegradable substance inside a non-biodegradable substance? Is that the idea? But to like dump that much poop in nature seems weird. I don't know. JC says, I've broken tape before on hotel toilet. Nice. Yeah, Secure Elite says, you lie the bags on the ground as a finish line, and then as you finish, you trip over. Yeah, I mean, these are going to be so slippery. If they got even a little bit wet, you know, you'd definitely be taking a spill. And it says, I really like my Phoenix 5 Plus. It's been a very good watch. All right. Maybe I have to look at that one. I mean, the thing that I find amazing about Garmin is that they update their old watches. And DC Rainmaker had a really great explanation of it. It's just part of their culture because they have certain things that like get put into like boats and aircraft, stuff that like, you know, has to last a long time and that they have to support for a long time. So they've always just had this, you know, mentality of we update our stuff, which, you know, I think eventually they're probably going to stop doing that on their watches because no one else is doing that with their watches. But it's kind of cool that they're doing that. And Corey Allen says the Polar Night 2 is officially for sale today. Just check the Polar website. Yeah, I thought, you know, I didn't realize that would be the case, but it makes sense. I just saw like in my YouTube subscriptions feed like a video on the Polar Ignite 2. Cool. All right, I'm going to try to catch up to you guys. You guys are way ahead of me in the chat. Scotty B says, I need the palm hat, snowflakes in Minnesota today. Yeah, I ran into it today. It was a really good hat. It's very warm, really warm. So like solid winter hat. My other palm hat right now is the one that I got from running the 2019 Shamrock Shuffle. That's a good one, but it doesn't fold over, or it does, but that hat is small. And so like I just unfold it so it's single layer. This one is a big hat. And so you can fold it over so you get that double layer right around the ears. Nice and warm. Really good hat. Highly recommend. AD says, hi, Kofuzi. I'm excitedly awaiting delivery of a Coros Pace 2 for my birthday today. Awesome. Well, happy birthday, AD. Decided it was a better option than the Polar Ignite. Your review helped me decide what I needed to watch. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's that Coros Pace 2, like spec-wise, it's an amazing watch. And I mean, a lot of runners trust it. That's a good watch. I mean, I haven't tried the Pace 2. I've tried the Apex, and I did really enjoy that one. But as far as like price per spec sheet, you know, it's got a lot of stuff on there. And Leslie Clayton says, sure it varies for people, but I've had no problem running after getting plasma. Okay, thank you. It's good to know. Mark says he used to donate plasma in college for clubbing money. Yeah. Brendan Cam is here. What's going on, Brendan? Hopefully you guys are doing okay up in Canada. And CV76 says they should have finishing tape for that Friday 5 p.m. clock out. You're done with the week and you just like punch through it. Like, yeah, finished. And Bryce Blankenfield says, I'd much rather get a long sleeve shirt than a medal from a race. Yeah, I mean, this one they gave a shirt and a medal too. So that was nice. But like, here's my pet peeve. I don't like it when the race shirt has like a bunch of sponsors on the back. I get it, especially now, when these racers are just trying to survive. It makes it more palatable for the sponsors if you also get to put them on the t-shirt as well. But I don't know. I feel like that should be something that you upsell to someone that's interested in being a title sponsor, and maybe just have them be on the logo on the front of the shirt and leave the back of the shirt clean. I'm not really a huge fan of when there's a whole bunch of stuff on the back. But yeah, I think that long sleeve tech tees are always useful. And so I feel like that, a beanie or a hat, like stuff that you can, I mean, like a t-shirt people wear and then you kind of like forget about it. But like a hat, you can wear that for multiple years and it won't feel like it's an old item. So I feel like if you're talking about like, how do you keep promoting your event even after your event, a winter hat is a great way if you're in a place that has winter. Like, for example, I ran the Indianapolis Marathon like 3 years ago. I still run in that hat, and I still recognize other people who run in that hat around here in Chicago. So I just feel like it's a really good way to. I think runners like it, and I think it should make race sponsors and stuff happy too. DJ UQT, really cool avatar illustration there, says, I've just started my running journey. Your videos have helped me a lot understanding running shoes. As a beginner, are the Saucony Endorphin Shifts a good one to start with? I researched it a lot. I think for some people it's a great shoe. I don't love that shoe. It's a little confusing to me. Like a shoe that's that tall, I feel like should be a little bit softer, but it's still pretty firm. And it makes up for it because it wants you to be very smooth in your gait cycle. And there's just a lot of stuff in there. It's trying to do a lot of things to kind of like put your foot in the right spot. And what it thinks is the right spot, it isn't, maybe it is the right spot for me, but it doesn't feel like the right spot for me. So I always feel like I'm kind of like fighting it a little bit. So it's, it probably wouldn't be my favorite first shoe to start people out with. But if you think that you need some more of those control aspects, it's got a really big heel collar in the back. It's got a lot of that like armor that's in the heel cup extends down into the midsole material. Again, so it's going to keep you from crashing in, like your ankles from crashing in too much. So if you think you need that stuff, then I'd give it a try. But from Saucony, I'd probably also look at the Ride first. Or if you want something a little speedier than that, then possibly the Kinvara. That might be a little bit too stripped down. The Triumph would be another one that I would look at too. So I think I'd rather see a person try out the Triumph before the Shift, but I don't think that that's necessarily a wrong choice. Benzi shoe down. It says, good morning, Kofuzis. What's going on, Benzi? And Oren says, I'm not sure if I chat you're going through. You're going through. Sorry. I see you, buddy. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just really far behind on the chat today. That's my fault. Keo Kondrick says, what are your thoughts on virtual races once COVID is over, quote unquote, and in parentheses, whatever that means? Do you think some will continue implementing a virtual option, potentially to support causes people like? Yeah, I think so. I think that virtual racing isn't going away. The virtual option isn't going to go away because I feel like there isn't, it doesn't cost the race directors a lot more to support the virtual option, I think, especially if they've already figured it out, right? So I'm not sure it's going to cost them much more to support it. But you're going to, you're probably not charging as much as like a full in-person, but it's a nice way of making revenue on the race. I think that it'll still, I mean, and I made my video today about hopefully my last virtual race, but I don't think it's really going to be my last virtual race. I could see it like, what I think is going to happen is we'll see. I don't know how popular this will be, but we already saw it this year, especially with like races like the Shamrock Shuffle. There were a lot of pros that were going to be running races virtually. And so like on that particular day, they're doing their virtual like Shamrock Shuffle and posting about it. And I think they're going to use, try to encourage other people to participate in some of these other types of races. So I think that there's going to be a stuff like that happens. Now this year with the Shamrock Shuffle, I think it was because those athletes probably, were, contracted for appearance fees and stuff. So instead of that, they were like, we'll still pay you something, but you got to help promote this virtual option or something like that. I think is what I imagine the conversation went like. I have no knowledge, just a complete guess. But I can see that happening. And I can also see it happening for other things that are very unique, but maybe hard to get to. So like stuff that like Ginger Runner does, like I think that if he continues to do like virtual races or stuff that like Amarepa Running is doing with like you can do real vert or treadmill vert and have those kinds of competitions, I think that those are fun. I think those are really interesting. And I think if I were, say, in Gothenburg right now rather than in Chicago, that it might be something that I would think about doing, because then I could just run up some of those giant hills over and over. It's like, in Gothenburg, if I went to the right, it was a 0.8 mile uphill, 8%. If I went to the left, it was a 3/4 mile, 7% incline. And if I went straight ahead, it was like a 5% incline for like 10 miles. So like I could just figure out different ways to get vertical and just log it and accumulate it over time. So I think those will be fun. And I think that like, but like, like your local, like, run for the zoo kind of thing. I don't know that they'll have virtual options. But they may, because it's, there's always those options of like, just make a donation for the cause. And so it's like a way you can make a donation for a cause. At least you're getting something out of it too, So there's that option, but I don't think that virtual option is going away. And I think that in some instances, it'll be a real fun way to participate. Other times it'll just be like, they made the money grab. Good for them. Hopefully they made a couple bucks, but not for me. So I think that's going to be the vast majority of it. But I think there'll be a couple of really interesting ones that'll still be out there. CV76, my human is so nice. He picks up my poop. Yeah. Yeah, my dog's got it made. All right, Ormagon says, if MAF heart rate is 180 minus age, should my easy runs be at 165 beats per minute? Seems high. That would be faster than 8-minute mile pace. Seems fast. My easy runs are usually 150-ish. Am I running too slow? 520 per kilometers-ish? No, you're not. And I think that it's think of it like a speed limit. You don't have to drive that fast, but anything faster than that is really going to start taxing your some different systems. And so I feel like if you can run your easy runs at 150-ish, stay there and just run easy. And that is going to be the bulk of your miles. But if you're doing something like a MAF test, like the maximum aerobic function test, where you're doing the 5 miles or around the track, then you'd be running that at 165. So that's the way that I would tweak it. But also, I think that Maffetone doesn't quite work as well at the kind of farther ends of the bell curve of the age spectrum. So, and I think that you're kind of at that one end that it may not kind of make as much sense. Like, I think that if anyone ever was like, hey, I'm the wrestling coach, and I also just started coaching the cross country kids. I have no idea what I'm doing. What do I tell them to do in the summer? I would probably tell them, give them all heart rate monitors and tell them to just run easy all summer long. So I think that there's definitely value in a lot of easy running as far as aerobic base building, but like trying to stick strictly to Maffetone at some of the farther ends of the spectrum, the the general formula may need a little bit more tweaking. The other thing that I would consider doing for you, Oren, is kind of use the same concepts of Maffetone, but maybe use a figure out what your max heart rate is, and then do more of a traditional like zone training and stay in zone 2. So that's another way you can look at it. I have a feeling that the numbers aren't going to be that different, but that might give you numbers that make a little bit more sense. Secret Elite says, as far as finishing tape goes, you can use toilet paper. If you have to rush the toilet afterwards, you're all good. 2 birds, 1 stone. I've seen people do that. Not then use that toilet paper immediately after a race, but I've seen people set up and use toilet paper or like a roll of paper towels as their finish line tape. It's pretty cute. All right. Beast714 says, hello, Echo fans. What's going on, Beast? Jeff Elliott says, my zone 2, according to 80/20, is a good bit higher and easy to stay in than my map number. Yeah, I mean, I think that like, as much as I like Maffetone and I feel like it's working for me, it's like a general rule. And so I think that if there's ways that you can dial it in with more diagnostic tools that you have available to you, I think that's great. And I don't think that we should shun that, but I also think that like a lot of this was designed at a time and for people who are just like, heart rate monitor, what do you mean? Like what am I supposed, how am I supposed to get a heart rate monitor? So I think that there may be like a historical context. I mean, maybe we're sophisticated enough that we don't need Maffetone anymore. But I also think that like, as someone who overcomplicates things all the time, I'm trying not to, I mean, maybe this is one, maybe I've undercomplicated the wrong thing, but I don't know. Lena says, I gave math 6 months. Didn't see a whole lot of progress, and I'm just doing whatever on my runs. LOL. Yeah, I mean, you gotta go with what works for you. That's all right. Bryce says, what's going on, Bryce? Good to see you. Just can't wait to go make an Americano on this chilly Minnesota day. I think we got a lot of Minnesotans up in here today, huh? Someone was saying that someone was telling me about a Minnesota half marathon. Is it a Minneapolis half marathon? I didn't look at that. When is that? I have a couple of friends that live up in Minneapolis. I do enjoy the city. I think that's certainly a place that I think we could try and put on the Kofuzi tour for this summer. I talked a little bit more to my wife about it last night. I think she's warming up to the idea of us coming out of the bunker. The dog made a weird noise, so I just want to make sure he's okay. I think he's dreaming about knocking over the garbage or something. So she's warming up. I'm warming up to the idea. So I think I'm gonna maybe tonight or tomorrow maybe start booking some races, start figuring some stuff out. So we'll see. Ormagon says, what's the most amount of steps you've done in a day? Nearly 30,000 a day. My legs feel like lead. I think that's a lot of steps. I don't know. I don't have my watch on right now. It's charging. Well, it was charging earlier today, and then I just forgot to put it back on. I think for a lot of my runs, I'm getting in. I think I get like 10 to 12,000 in on my runs. I think I've had up to like 26,000. It seems like a number, or maybe I'm picking that number from 26.2. I don't know. 30,000 seems like a big day, or you're moving around a lot. I mean, I think it depends. Do you have comfortable casual shoes for all those steps, or if you've been running that much? That's a lot of running, I would think. Sean says, I ran 9 miles on Friday, no problem. Jumped rope for 30 minutes at recess yesterday and sore AF. That's so funny. I've been seeing a lot of jump rope videos on like Instagram. The thing is with Instagram, if you watch one video, you get like 10 more times. So you got to be, I got to be really careful. Like I make a lot of decisions, like split decisions. Like, do I want to see 10 more times, like 10x of this? If I don't, I swipe really quick, But for a while, I was seeing like tons and tons of jump rope videos like every day. I was like, this is too many jump rope videos. I'm getting all the jump rope videos. I don't understand it. But yeah, it's an interesting kind of workout. Oren said he got 30,000 steps on 8 miles of running. Seems off. I'm sure he did a lot of other stuff too. And then Frank says 50K would probably be at least 50,000 steps. Yeah, I think that for a walking, I remember when I was using a Fitbit a lot, I think they would say like 5,000 steps a day equals about 6 miles or something like that. Did they say? What was it? Was it 10,000 is 5 miles? I forget what the math was. I forget what it is. I think I routinely get like in the 20,000 somewhere. I think that's my normal. I wish I had my watch with me, but I don't know. I run on beer says, I know I had over 100,000 steps for my 100K. Whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot. Remy says, what's going on, Remy? He says, hi, friends. Anyone have software to convert .t6 files to .fit? Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Basically, the way I approach stuff like that is I try to do like file laundering. So what I'll do is I'll try to see like, all right, if I have this file in Stride and I export it, what are my export options? Like Polar gives you a couple of different export options. And then, but sometimes if I look at Strava, so I might upload a file type to Strava and then I could get out a different one. That's what I would look at. Otherwise, I have no idea how to do that. AAQ says, evening, training for my first 100K ultra. Any tips? I've done a 50K before. I don't have any tips. That's beyond where I've been. I've done like my own 50K before. I haven't done a real one. Hopefully I'll be doing my real one in June. Not that it wasn't real. I did 50K, but like, one with like a bib and a race and hopefully lots of people with cowbells and stuff like that and gummy bears and food and junk food and soda. That's what I'm here for. But yeah, so I'm hoping to do my first 50K trail race soon this year, but I've not done the 100K. I don't really know how to level that up. It just seems like a really big jump. I mean, I guess there's the 50 miles in the middle there, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot. Good luck. Good luck. All right. Keel Kondrick says, what are the benefits of having a running coach? When do you decide one is necessary? How do you find one? Oh, okay. The benefits of having a running coach, I think, is it gives you another set of eyes on your running and it kind of helps you figure out how to get to your goals. And how to get through potentially some of your weaknesses or the ruts that you might tend to gravitate towards, habits that you don't know that you have that may be holding you back. So I think that there's a lot of ways that running coaches can really help people benefit depending on where they are in terms of like their running experience. So when do you decide one is necessary? I think pretty much anyone can benefit from a running coach. Keep in mind that I don't have a running coach. I've had running coaches before, but I don't currently have a running coach. But like I typically think about running coaches, a good time to have it is when you feel like you've plateaued, right? So like you've done everything you know how to do and you kind of like have been getting the same result, now that might be a good time for you to be like, all right, how do I get to the next level? Whether that's I want to go from 50Ks to 100Ks and I don't know how to get there. Or like I've been running the same time for the last 3-4 years. How do I break through and improve on those times? How do I put together training plans? How do I unlock the rest of my potential? Like that's like, and you don't know like really how to do it. A running coach can really help you do that. And I think that they can especially help in the areas where you might have blind spots. I think that's where like having that outside perspective can be helpful. How do you find one? Yeah, I mean, a really great way to find one these days is pretty much like on Instagram. That's how I'd probably look for one. Um, a lot of the different coaching groups tend to be pretty active because I would want an in-person running coach, someone that that has a group that I could train with, do long runs with maybe, or do like midweek workouts with. Um, those are the kinds of things that I would want out of a coach. Someone that has a group that I can lock into and connect with on that level. And those kinds of things, like those kinds of coaches tend to have, like, hopefully, I mean, for someone that's a coach that I'm going to want to work with, they'll probably have a decent like Instagram presence. Their coaching group has a decent Instagram presence. So like, if you're looking at and are aware of runners that are in your area, whether it's Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or wherever it is, you'll see that. Or like if you go to your local race, a lot of times those coaching groups might have like a team kit, where they're like things like McCurdy trained, things like that, where it might say like, we're part of that group. Like around here, like DW running is a big group around here. And then a lot of like the local elite or sub elite groups here also have like regular people that they train. So they all kind of have like the same similar uniforms. So that's another way to kind of figure out like, oh, okay, these are the people that are big around here locally. I could tap into that. So that's kind of how I would do it. Yeah, and Seeker Elite says a lot of running clubs have coaches associated with them. That's another great way to do it too. If you go to a local running club, or if you're a member of a local running club, people there, run coaches might be members of those running clubs. They might have associated kind of like a pro at like at a golf course, or people there are probably coached, and they might have people that they've worked with. Brett Reed says, "What is Parkrun?" Parkrun is like it's a brand, right? And so it's like a race organization company. I believe it started in the UK. They're all over the world. There's Parkrun in Illinois as well. I haven't been to I don't think I've ever been to Parkrun, but basically the premise of Parkrun is it's a regular, I don't know if it's every week, but a regular 5K race that's chip timed. So an official 5K race that's run somewhat regularly that you can use as a way of kind of like gauging your fitness. Some people, they use it as part of their couch to 5K. Some people are racing it regularly, like they go like once every couple of weeks. And I believe it's always 5K, right? Are there other distances? I'm not sure, but that's what Parkrun is. But like when people say like I love my local Parkrun, they might be, I think that they're usually talking about Parkrun, like I don't know if it's a registered trademark, but like Parkrun the company. But like when I hear it, I think of like I love like my local 5K. For example, like in Chicago, Chicago Area Runners Association puts on something in conjunction with the city where they put on free timed 5Ks once a month over the summer in a variety of different, the location moves. But they focus on areas that are in underserved communities. So to get lots of people just involved and exposed to a different kind of physical activity and sport. And so that's like something, and those are free. I think Parkrun, you have to pay to be in Parkrun, but so that's kind of like, like in Chicago, that's the version that I'm aware of. And Benoit says, yep, 5K every Saturday. So many around London to choose from. It's cool. Frank says Parkrun isn't chip time, is it? I always thought that you got a time. I don't know if they just yell out times as you go by or if there's actual chip, but I'm not sure. Oh, and Oren says it's run by volunteers and that's what makes it free. Okay. I'm learning too. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Louis says our state and district does free 5K and 1 half marathon and a full a year. Oh, that's so cool. And then it's confirmed. Parkrun is free. Awesome. I didn't know that. I thought you had to pay for it. Very cool that it's free. Awesome. Secretly says normally a tag at end record time. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Oren says you get a time, personal barcode that you scan at the finish, hence the time on website. Nice. Okay, there we go. Cool. Very, very cool. Awesome. Maybe that's something I should go seek out. The Parkrun, or maybe I'll just do the one that's local to me, the one that Kara puts on, the Chicago Area Runners Association. Maybe I'll do that one. All right, guys. I think that's a good place to leave it for today. It's 3:55. This hour flew by fast. I had a great time talking to you guys. Tomorrow's video is just going to be like, one of the, like a workout video. It sounds weird. It's not like, it's not like a aerobics video, but it's just a workout video going over the workout that I did today, getting ready for the weekend. And then we'll do another live stream in the afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be happy hour, so bring your recovery beverage of choice, and hopefully I'll see you then. Same time as today, 3 p.m. Central Time. And until then, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.